Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back in the BMW M2 CS Racing, this time at Watkins Glen Boot Edition. So this is for the Production Car Challenge and the Production Endurance Challenge. As such, it is an open series. If you want to race the exact setup being used here, you can go to our website being shown in the bottom right side of the screen, sambosetups.com. It's also in the description, as is our Patreon if you would prefer to purchase or join via there. Any questions, let me know in the comments. And this is Gianni Lutzu driving. If you want to have the best coaching on iRacing, there is a link to his website also in the description. So here he is smashing it down the main straight, looking for our entry into turn one, which is just after the 400 board. Might be before. We'll have another look. On the brakes, it's about 55%. Goes through turn one in third gear. And now we're absolutely flat through turn two. And again through turn three. But just be careful here because it is very easy to run into that wall on exit. Track map being absolutely no use to us here as we come into the inner loop. I'm going to get on the brakes just before the 300 mark. Braking a little bit more for the second apex. Not quite flat through the third, but we are flat through the fourth. Once that pylon disappears, we get off the gas, lightly on the brakes, back on the gas when we see the marshals up. We'll go through it in the breakdown lap. Now quite a way before this storm drain this time. We're on the brakes to about 55%. Relatively long trail off, down to third. Picking up later than you would with most of the cars on the service. Braking at the 200 as we go into this corner. Again, on the brakes up to about 60%, leaving it in third gear, coming away from the apex to give yourself that room for the second half of the corner. Up and over the rise, wave to the marshal. Now we're looking for the 200 board. As we get there on the brakes up to about 70%, drop it down to third again. Back on the gas, but we've got to be patient to get to full throttle. Exit wide, over to the right side. As soon as you get right over there, on the brakes up to about 45%. A long trail off and then patient with the gas again. Very slippy corner in this car. Now we're looking for the 200 board on the right hand side. We're going to turn in on the brakes up to about 15%, and again a lot of patience with the throttle application. Last corner on the brakes just before the end of the tyre barrier. Put my teeth back in now. Don't hit that wall on exit, you would be upset. And over and across the line he goes in a 58.8. We've got one version. Next is the breakdown lap. Okay, so here we are on the breakdown lap. So for turn one, it's the 400 board. I'm just going to show you it there. And just as we get there, he gets on the brakes. And he hits a peak pressure of about 56%. He's trying to avoid that ABS getting back on the gas at the apex. He does actually get up to 100% whilst he's still on the rumble strip. Well done him. Can exit out here, but you don't want to be any further over to the left on the boot layout. Flat through here, just give that rumble strip a little tickle. And do be wary of that wall because it does creep up on you and he gets very tight to it. Right, now we're looking for, is it the, midway between the 400 and the 300 here. There we go, yeah. And again, he reaches a peak pressure about 65%, trails it off down to this first apex. Now he's going to brake slightly harder, as you can see, for the second apex. Now he's going to trail that off. Now he gets on the gas, but he doesn't reach 100%, so he holds it around 80-85% through the third apex, and now gets up to 100% for the fourth. Now we're looking for this, almost looks like a drilling platform up ahead. Once that has gone past the center of our view and is about to disappear behind our left-hand pillar, that's when we do a lift, as you can see. And he goes on the brakes only to 2 or 3%. Again, he's just wanting to let himself know that the brake is there and ensure that the balance of the car is over the front wheels. And what he's looking for is this marshal's hut that's just coming into view now on the right-hand side. Now, once you can see that properly, that's when he gets back on the gas. Still doesn't reach 100% until here. That's how on the limit of grip this thing is. Now we're braking quite a bit before this storm drain coming up on the grass on the right hand side. And it's a long trail off. So the initial part's fairly normal, but then he's just holding the brakes, holding it, drops it down to third, still holding the brakes all the way up until here. Basically when you can just start to see these trees come into view at the top center left of your screen. Head over to the left-hand side, looking for the 200 board this time. Now, as we get there we go. It's on the brakes, and he hits, what, 60%? Holds it, trails it off, down to third, and he doesn't start getting on the gas again until you can see this single tree by itself on the right-hand side of your screen. Trees never move. If you are a person that does experience trees moving, there are phone lines you can call. Right, over to the left-hand side, we're looking for the 200 board, or just before it. There we go. And again, he hits a peak pressure of about 70%. And every week in the comments, I get people asking why he doesn't brake harder and later. It's because Gianni brakes as if he is in a race rather than doing a hot lap. Okay, over on the right-hand side of the track here. Sorry, my wife's just come in to show me our kitten. It's very cute. I will include a picture of it at this stage. And for you that don't care, I'm so sorry. There are other channels you can watch. Right, we get on the brakes up to about 40%. Now a long trail off here, and we start picking back up on the gas more or less when we're pointing at this empty marshal's hut up ahead. Up to full power. 200 board on the right-hand side. We're going to start our turn in. He initially hits up to about 15%. He's going to trail that off now to the apex, getting back on the gas in fourth gear. Doesn't want to go too early because you don't want to jump over to the right-hand side of these rumble strips. It's not pleasant. We want to get over to the left-hand side. Now we're going to use the end of the tyre wall here, or this white line up ahead of us, to get on the brakes up to about 25, 28%, something like that. Pick your poison. And then exit nice and wide and near the wall. Right, so that is the breakdown lap. Now we do have one final version coming up next with the driving line on without me talking. I hope you enjoyed the picture of the cat.